Hello everybody and welcome to the Digital Nomad Visa webinar. Today we are going to explain how to work remotely from Spain with this new visa. It's something very new that we will go into details in order to understand better this Nomad Visa. Well, as you know, Balcells Group is a lawyer's company, a law firm specialized on immigration. We are in the market for over 40 years, so we have a lot of professional experience. We give legal advice to individuals, to companies, to investors, to immigration agencies, to any other intermediary agents like real estate. And our way of practice is between a balanced vision, between the experience and the modernity. We try to be online as much as we can to explain the things in YouTube, in the blog, in Instagram, everywhere we try to communicate. This would be the modernity, but we have a solid experience on the legal in Spain. My name is Cristian Balcells. I studied law in ESADE. I'm the CEO since 15 years of Balcells Group, and I'm the founder of a platform called Immigration Lawyers Spain, where we offer information for free about immigration, about how to move to Spain, tips for expats in English and in Spanish. On regards to the startup law, the Digital Nomad Visa, we need to understand this was approved 21st of December. It's the 28th 2022 law, and it came into effect 1st of January. This law tries to facilitate the creation of new fast-growing technology companies, attract foreign investment and talent to the country, convert Spain into a territory hub for international people, for remote workers, for entrepreneurs. The idea also of the government is, with this visa, to collect money on the taxation, on the taxes that the digital nomad will have to pay, and also to contribute to the social security of Spain. So this means that the digital nomad is fantastic for certain things, for immigration, but also you have to take in consideration that you will have some obligation on terms of taxes and on social security. Who can apply for this visa? Basically, there is two scenarios. Foreigners, non-Europeans, always. It cannot apply for Europeans, so it has to be a non-European citizen who can work remotely from Spain for their company, an employee that can work from their home, from another jurisdiction, online for his company, with whom he has a work contract, or digital nomads and freelancers that they have one or more clients around the world, not in Spain, and they can work remotely for them. Also, it's a service that can be provided online. Since COVID and even before, this has been a trend, the nomads, the digital nomads, and now after COVID and with all the technology and all the new work places, more digital, pues it's a reality, no? The need of people, the need of a visa for those who who can work remotely and they like Spain for a lot of reasons, because of the weather, because of the culture, because of the experience to live abroad. So there is several arguments, no, to come, or reasons to come to Spain. It's a new residence permit. An important part of this law talks about this type of residence permit for non-EU citizens, as I said, will grant the possibility to work remotely from Spain for those people. And right now it was not possible legally. It was the non-lucrative visa, but it was not correct. So now we have an answer for those that they want to move to Spain, but they are not going to retire. They are going to work remotely, because with the non-lucrative visa, by books in law, it mentions that you cannot do this. The duration will be for 3 years, with the option of renewing for 2 extra years every time. This a good thing of this permit is that it counts for the long-term residency. So after 5 years of living in Spain, not more than 10 months out of the country, you can apply for the long-term permit. You can modify your permit after 1 year into a work permit or a freelance or self-employed permit. You can count the years for the Spanish citizenship. So it's an official residency permit. This law also talks about to facilitate the registration at the Social Security because now the expat or the company abroad can register just with the passport or the company number abroad. So it's much more easy to register at the Social Security. On regards to the main requirements, basically you need to have a full copy of the passport with the entry stamp into Spain, or if you enter through another European country, the flight tickets. The form, MIT, it's a form that we have to fill and the remote worker has to sign. The criminal records of the countries where you lived the last 2 years. Declaration of no criminal records of the last 5 years, so you need to sign a letter that we prepare saying that you didn't have criminal records the last 5 years, but you have only to provide the residence places where you live the last 2 years. Then you need to demonstrate at least 30,240 euros per the principal, 11,340 for the partner, and 3,780 for each kid or grandparent. This can be compensated with the contracts that the freelance has, the salary sheets of the employee, or the certificates of the company. Also, if you don't register in the Social Security in Spain, you will need to have a private health insurance in Spain. We can offer you one that they are our partners. It's called Assisa, that they charge around 50 euros per month. You need also to have university degree or 3 years experience on the sector that you are developing your activities. And you can also, besides you are a digital nomad, you can also work for an employee in Spain or as a freelance. The immigration fee per person is 73.26. This would be the basis of the permit. The passport, the form, the criminal records of the places where you live the last 2 years, a declaration that you don't have criminal records in the places that you live the last 5 years, 30,240 for the principal, 11,340 for the partner, and 3,780 for each kid or grandparent. This would be the amount of money they need to show. This can be compensated if you have contracts, salary sheets, certificates of the company. You need to have also a health insurance in Spain in case you don't activate yourself in the Spanish Social Security, and you need to have a university degree or 3 years experience in what you are going to develop in Spain, what will be your functions. You can also work as an employee or autonomous in the country with this permit. The fee to pay is 73.26. Then here we have 2 scenarios, the remote worker and the freelance worker, the remote or digital nomad. The remote worker who works for a company with a work contract, he needs to prove that he had a relation for at least 3 months with this company. This would mean that he has to provide documents that prove that he has been working for this company during the last 3 months with the work contract and salary sheet. If it's more, even better. Then you need to prove that the company for whom you work exists for more than a year, with the company deed, or any document that proves that this company that gives you the work contract is existing for over a year, and this company needs to authorize you to work remotely from Spain. It needs to indicate the economical conditions and the terms and description of the relation. It's a special letter that we normally prepare where we explain, pues, I authorize to work remotely to this person in Spain, and we will pay him this salary, and the conditions and the terms and the description of the relation would be like this. This would be for remote workers. If you are a freelancer, the requirements are similar. You must be working for at least one client that is outside of Spain. This client needs to exist for at least 1 year. So you need to prove that this client has an existence of over a year. You need to prove that the relation between you and this client has been for at least 3 months. And again, this client needs to provide a letter that an authorization to work remotely from Spain, explain the economical condition, terms, conditions, and description of the relation. So I authorize my contractor to work remotely from Spain. I will pay him this or her this money every certain weeks, and he will be providing me these services, and there will be this bonus or any condition that applies to the relation. The application process has two options. Option one would be to apply as a tourist in Spain. So, or if you are resident, you can apply directly from Spain, and you can ask for the 3 years directly. And option two would be to apply at the country of origin at the consulate for a visa for 1 year, and with this visa, you can exchange later for the 3 years residency permit. It's more practical, the option one, to come to Spain as a tourist. Also remember that the consulates, they don't provide this service yet because they don't have instructions on how to do it. So till today, the only option is to come to Spain as a tourist, or if you are already resident, and apply for this digital nomad visa. This visa has to be submitted online into a platform which is called Unidad de Grandes Empresas. It's a very fast-track process, around 20 labor days if there is no mistakes on the file. And so it would be even less than a month, you would get this visa. And then you will receive a residency card that allows you to live and work in Spain for 3 years. On regards to the social security issue, there is 3 possibilities. Sorry, there is 2 options. If you give a certificate of coverage of the social security on the country of origin according to the Convention of Spain, so you need to ask at the social security where the company is located, from whom you work, if they can issue a certificate of coverage during your stay in Spain. Spain has agreements with several countries that we will see. If not, you need to request the inscription in the social security of Spain, either as a freelance or a company, and compromise to activate yourself in the social security in Spain once you become approved. So there is 2 options. If the country where you work for the company can provide you a letter that they will cover you during your stay in Spain, but this you have to ask to the social security in your country, or if not, you need to register a request of inscription in the social security in Spain and a compromise to activate it once you get approved. This is the key point, because either Spain has not an agreement with all the companies, and also there will be some companies that they will not want to help the employee. They will say, why I have to register and pay social security in Spain. These are the countries that they have agreements, including UK and European countries, as an agreement on regards to the social security coverage with Spain, with the convention with Spain. And this is an example from Argentina, for example. They all look the same. You need to fill this form and go to the social security of your country to request a certificate of coverage during your stay in Spain. The request of inscription in the social security would look like this. It's a page where you put all your details and you request to register in the social security with your passport, either as a freelance or either as a company. Well, here in the there is a website in the down of the page where you can see how it looks like this form in each country, in the UK, in the US, so they look similar to this one. And the social security, you can download the form from this link as well. But you need to compromise to register you as a freelance or your company if you are an employee. Then you need to, as we said, you need to have a letter of compromise of activation to the Social Security of Spain. Once you are approved, it looks like this, the one that we have now. Then also, other letter of examples, you need to have a declaration that you don't have criminal records. It looks like this, the one that we have. An example of the company certificate that we mentioned at the beginning. With this new visa, a new tax regime will come into force, the Beckham regime. This is good because for the year that you apply +5, you don't need to declare the assets or the wealth worldwide, so there is no wealth tax during 5+1. You reduce until a salary of 600,000 euros, you just pay 24% instead of a progressive rate that can be read up to 48%. The conditions required to accessing for this impuesto de renta no residente, the non-resident tax, would be lowered. You have to prove that the last 5 years you have not been resident of Spain and that you will do it during the next 6 months since you become resident. This application for this Beckham regime. And as we said before, the tax regime is valid for the year that you apply plus 5. Some useful tips are, for example, that you will have to pay, if you are a freelancer, 80 euros per month during the first year to cover your social rights, your public health, your pension, etc. And then between 300 and 560 from the second year, depending on your incomes. On regards to the taxes, you will pay 24% on your work incomes in Spain. If your incomes are above 40,000, then it's interesting the Beckham Law. Here we put the table in case you don't want to apply for the Beckham Law because your salary is lower than 40,000. Here you can do the calculations in this scale of how much it would be, your taxes that you will pay annually. This tax you pay between April and June of every year. Well, this is all. I hope you like it and it was clear. And now I will answer 5 questions. And then any person that wants to ask questions, additional questions to the office, pues you can contact us by email, or in our website there is a link where you can book an appointment. Our fee is 60 euros per appointment. And you can visit also us in Barcelona. We are located in Barcelona. You can follow us in Facebook, in YouTube, in Twitter, in Instagram, in LinkedIn. We are publishing a lot there to keep all of you informed and updated. And also you can see our videos in our blog, and I would advise you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you like the webinar and you want to put a good review, it's also fantastic for us in Google. And in any case, I would advise you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Balcells Group, because there this video will be there, for example, and other videos explaining the details on the digital nomad visa will be there. Okay, now I will go into the questions. I will do 5 today. And the rest, if you want, you can send us an email, and for 60 euros that we would discount for the service, we would explain you more in person the details. Okay. If I'm in Spain since one, okay. I will choose 5 good questions. As a remote worker for a company, who is responsible? Is it to pay the tax? Well, here is something that the law does not explain very good, but as a remote worker, we understand that the company needs to register the Social Security in Spain and pay your Social Security in Spain, which is around 35% of your salary. And about the taxes, this is something that you will have to pay on your income, which is 24%. Neneh, what rights will dependents have? Can they also work and access to the Social Security? Yes, in principle, the dependents, they are allowed to live and to work in Spain, and if they work, they will have access to the Social Security. If you are only the person who works and you pay the Social Security, then you can put them as beneficiaries, so they will have the right of the public health, at least, when they are in Spain. Vale. Question 3, having a non-profit visa for more than 6 months, could someone change to this digital nomad visa, not be taxed? Yes, with a non-lucrative visa, you can switch at any time to the digital nomad visa, but you will not get access to the tax regime if you have been in Spain for more than 6 months as a resident. So you could get the right to work, but not the taxes. Is it the 40th, number 4, is it 40K minimum salary, not 60K, eligible for the Beckham Law? Well, it's between 40, 50,000 euros when it becomes attractive, even if you expect a growth on the salary. And when it becomes attractive to apply for the Beckham Law regime. And the last one, Tommy, the last question, how much do you charge for this? Our fees would be 1,000 plus VAT for the principal, expenses not included, and 750 plus VAT for the partner, expenses not included, and 500 plus VAT for each kit. This would be, in general, our fees. Well, thank you very much. I hope you like it. If you have more questions, please send us an email. As I said, subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our websites, platforms. If you want to give a good review in Google, this would be fantastic for us to continue doing these webinars as well, and for Balcells Group. And a pleasure to talk to all of you. I hope you enjoy it and you learn a little bit at least about the digital nomad visa. Well, I see some people that they want another answer, but pues we will do another one. How can you prove you have been working for 3 months when that is not allowed on a non-lucrative visa? Yes, it's true. The only thing that they are different regimes, and we understand that only that the grandes empresas request this for the digital nomad. It says that if you are resident and you prove this, they will give it. But this is a good question, because in theory, with a non-lucrative, you cannot work in Spain, but also for the jurisdiction of Spain, because they cannot control or block what you do in other jurisdictions. It's a great area question, but it's a good question. Okay, thank you very much. Please subscribe, please give us a good review, and we will follow up by email or by a consultation or any other online system. Gracias.